Hello and happy Friday. I hope you all have a good weekend, but let's have math class first. We should all get a packet from the substitute, and it is from Chapter 8 on congruence of triangles. You will complete parts of it with me via the video. Please let the substitute know if you need it paused in order to kind of catch up or follow along with the video, and then you'll have a little bit to do by yourself, and whatever you don't finish in class after the video will be homework due Monday. So happy Friday, and let's get started. Our first page looks like this. It says graph triangle ABC by plotting the points A, B, C. So go ahead and plot those. Draw a triangle. Then A says describe the triangle ABC. So decide if it's acute, right, or obtuse. Go ahead and draw your figure and answer question A. Press pause, press play when you're ready. All right, so as you can see, you created a right triangle. And then so in A, you should describe triangle ABC as a right triangle. Question B says use the grid to measure lengths BC and CA. So let's say segment BC is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's say segment CA is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we have 7 and 8. And then let's mark that on B. So the length of AC is 8, the length of BC is 7. Letter C says use Pythagorean theorem to solve for AB. So you'll do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Let's go ahead and try C. Press pause, press play when you're ready to check your work. And let's round to the nearest 10th. All right, so we should end up with 10.6. Number 2, translate, which means move, triangle ABC 10 units to the left to form triangle DEF. So A will become D, B will become E, and C will become F. You can kind of see it up here, but I want you to translate it yourself. So translate it 5 units to the left, and then list the new coordinates. So you'll say like D is now negative 210, E is now this, F is now this. So press pause, translate your figure 5 to the left, write down the coordinates, and press play when you're ready. Go ahead and check your work. Next page, corresponding sides are sides that have the same relative position in geometric figures. Triangle ABC and triangle DEF in question 1 are the same size and the same shape. Each side in triangle ABC matches or corresponds to a specific side in DEF. What would you predict to be true about the length of the corresponding sides of congruent triangles? So just a second ago I had a 7, 8, and a 10.6. And then the one I moved was a 7, 8, 10.6. So they are congruent. The lengths of corresponding sides of congruent triangles are equal. Now identify the pairs. So when we go back up to our figure, what goes with AC? We look over here, BF. And remember, these are line segments, so you have to label them as such. So it says, how do they go together? Side AC corresponds to DF. How about BC? BC goes with EF. Okay, go ahead and answer A, B, and C on number 4 and press play when you're ready. All right, number 5. Now determine the side lengths of DEF. So the measure of DF, we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then it wants you to find the other two as well. So there's A. Go ahead and do B and C. Pause, press play when you're ready. Eight, 7, and 10.6. So they are perfectly congruent, and they're both right triangles because you just translated them, so nothing changed. So today we're kind of practicing and remembering how to correspond sides to each other and what congruent means. Next, can compare the lengths. So how does AC compare to DF? Well, they're congruent. So let's write the length of the side AC is equal to the length of side DF. Press pause, press play when you're ready. I want you to do 6A and B and C. Go. All right, as you can see, they are all equal. So 7 wants to know in general what can be said about a relationship between the corresponding sides of congruent triangles. Corresponding sides of congruent triangles are congruent. Let's write that down. Corresponding sides of congruent triangles are congruent, which means they're equal. All right, we're going to now move on to problem 4. So you can skip a little bit of this. So you don't need on page 446 this upper part. But now let's start problem 4. Statements of triangle congruence. So if you have triangle JRB, and this symbol means congruent, to triangle MNS, identify the congruent angles. So what angle would go with J? Well, what letters first? J here and M here. So angle J goes with angle M. And you write it like this. And then it says the congruent sides. Well, if you need to sketch out a triangle JRB and MNS, JR would go with MN. See if you can find the other two angles and the other two sides. Press play when you're ready to check your work. So we should have R with N and B with S, angle symbols and congruent. And then the sides RB with NS, and then BJ or JB, it doesn't matter which way you do it, with MS. If you do JB, MS, that's good. If instead you do BJ, then you need to do SM. Next page. Analyze the two triangles shown. So look at these two triangles. What is happening? What kind of transformation? It's not just a slide, and it's not a reflection, so it must be some kind of rotation. So triangle TWC was rotated to create triangle PMK. Write that down. B, does the transformation used preserve the size and shape? So when we went from here to here, did I change it at all? Is it still congruent? Yes, rotations preserve both size and shape. So the figures are still congruent. I just picked it up and rotated it. So now using these triangles, write a triangle congruent statement. So I need this angle is congruent to that angle. Oh no, sorry, not yet. That'll be in the next step. Just write that the triangles are congruent. So the T, see how this C is like the obtuse angle here and the K is? So you know C has to go with K. So T goes with P, W goes with M, and C goes with K. So let's write that down. Now, using that congruent statements, I want you to find all the angles and all the segments congruent sides. So there's 3. So here's the first 2. Pause, press play when you're ready, find the other two. All right, so go ahead and check T with P, W with M, C with K, and make sure they're all written like this. And then here we are. So, but if you had CW, then you need to have KM. So make sure that your letters flow, because I can just look right here. WC goes with MK. The next page is for you to work on by yourself or with a partner, depending on what the substitute chooses. And this will be due on Monday. So you'll analyze these two triangles and do kind of what we've just done. This video is on Blackboard, so if you need to re-watch it, it is still posted and you can do it over the weekend. So have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday. We'll finish Chapter 8 by Tuesday and move on to Chapter 9. Chapter 8 is all about congruence of triangles. So we're just now kind of corresponding the parts after we know that they are equal. Thank you and have a good night or a good day.